uncomfortable. But you see how like this is too close? You can see it right now. This is too close.
Yeah.
If this Moira turns are calling you, or if this Kiriko comes after you, if the Genji comes after you, it's too close. Soldier. What is Soldier good at? We really don't want to dive super deep into the micro, considering you're a hyperflex.
Yeah.
So let's look at the big picture stuff.
I mean, you just want to be off angling, annoying, looking for picks, and just trying to survive.
Sure. Down. Look at the enemy comp. Is there anything super important for you to know? What are the low-hanging fruits right here to be aware of?
Okay, so Ashe, like number one.
Yes,
is like such an easy pick for me.
Okay.
Sojourn,
avoid her sightlines, but you can kill her if you get close, right?
Monkey, I want to kind of stay away from him unless he doesn't have cooldowns.
Sure.
Sojourn is kind of a weird one.
There. I'll stop you right there. That's it. That's really it. Like I would say, care railgun, care Ashe sightline, care monkey jump. That's it.
Okay, so one of my habits when I get into a game is I look at their entire comp and I try to think about every single like scenario. Like
That's
this is what this. So you're thinking like pick like one or two. My biggest threat, number one, and then like my second biggest threat, like
yes.
Okay.
Yes, and then what you'll start to do is you'll start to internalize.
That's big, actually. That makes a lot of sense to me. So
right,
yeah,
right, and you'll start to internalize those reactions, so you won't even have to think about them. So like as soon as this VOD pulled up, took me like all of 1 second, and I knew exactly how you should play. I've been doing this for a lot longer than probably you have, but that should be the goal for you too. Is I see range, dive. Okay, short sightlines, avoid monkey. That's it. That's like that's it. Like if it was Tracer Genji, then I would be like, all right, I'm playing like a sniper almost, like a deep offing. Let's try and get early pressure. If they were on like Tracer Sombra Ball, then I'd be like, all right, I can't take as greedy off English because they might dive me, right? I need to be aware of where they're positioning. So you needed to try and just quickly, as most important, biggest playstyle adjustments. I don't care about Moira. I don't care about Kiriko. Those heroes are not super impactful for me. I just need to be aware of the ones that are more important to me. Yeah, this is
autopilot. This is autopilot right here.
This is
guaranteed. I was not thinking. I was just like.
So how do we fix autopilot? If we give you a goal right now, Scoob, what should you be thinking about right now at this point in time in the team fight?
Where am I going to position for the next fight?
Yes, exactly. Especially with a hero like Soldier. Like, obviously, positioning is important for every hero, but that's literally it. Like, everything but the Soldier is positioning. So right now, let me ask you.
You know what happens to me.
Where should you go?
You know what happens. You
already know.
Well, you already know what happens. I know.
I already know, but I want you to tell me where you should have been.
So maybe I would think on the right side of where Genji's at, maybe by that mega health pack in the back, maybe.
Like over here, starting here.
Right, yeah, something like that. Because I can poke the flank. Because the problem with me being here, not only is it a atrocious position, but also if their hit scan or whoever decide to flank, I can't contest them from where I'm at. Yeah, you're thinking really hard, which I appreciate, but I don't even care about that last point. You're just a jackass. That's it. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna die here.
Right. Okay. They swapped the Genji, by the way. How does that affect how you play? 3, 2, 1. Tell me.
He's gonna dive me with monkey most likely.
So how does that affect your positioning?
I would say I want to be kind of out of dash range.
Yeah,
honestly.
longer sightlines. Now, guess what? He swapped off of what hero?
Ashe.
Which was contesting longer sightlines. So all they've done is said, you can have all the long sightlines in the world.
Dang,
right?
dude, I didn't even think about that.
Right?
That's crazy.
Now,
actually.
the Sojourn shot you still have to respect, but that's the only thing you care about at range. You literally can play like an Ashe yourself now, essentially. Because there's nothing in the enemy team that contests you. However, if you get too close, their comp will turbo stomp you. Before it was just the monkey. Now it's a monkey and the Genji. You see what I'm saying?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
That's wild to me that I don't think about long versus short like a lot. Like, and I feel like
it's so important with Soldier because he's like super dynamic. You know what I'm saying? He's like really like short versus Widow, Ashe, Hanzo, but then not short against the other heroes. Like it's constant. Like you're right.
And his long range damage isn't crazy, but it's very very annoying.
It's
like,
way better than the Genji, Tracer, Sombra, right? So he's like smack dab in the middle, right? So that means you're constantly going to be changing how you position with Soldier in terms of like cover and thing, but also the angle that you choose because of that range, right? This is stupid because your team is pushed up, but this is especially stupid because this is exactly what Winston, Genji, and I guess to a lesser extent Moira want. This is good for them. They could get on top of you. You should be doing the opposite right now, you know?
Yeah.
And that's how you die, right? That's how you die. I wouldn't say you're actively trolling compared to last fight. I think this is okay. But what do you need to keep in mind with where you're positioned?
The Genji probably, because I mean you can get on pretty quick.
Right. So what I would say is I don't think your positioning is bad in terms of the macro, but in terms of the micro, I might like you instead of where you are now to be just like here, a little further back here. I don't know if you can see stream now, but right back here somewhere. Right. And then if he dashes you, you just run away. You run away. I mean, literally to the spawn, right? Literally to the spawn. You just run away. Comfortable. But you see how like this is too close. You can see it right now. This is too close. If this Moira turns are calling you, or if this Kiriko comes after you, if the Genji comes after you, it's too close. The visor's fine.
All right.
Visor's fine. It's just going to be about your proximity here.
Yeah, my position is a little deep.
Like, this Genji can dash on top of you, the Winston can jump on top of you, and you see it right there. Like, you get the kill. You get a little bit fortunate that they ignore you, but then you die immediately. That is, again, the same issue that we talked about. This fight should have been unlosable, considering that you open with 2 kills. But...
And this is going to be a continuous problem throughout this game, is that I really didn't pick up on the fact that like Genji's just short range, and the only range they have is like maybe Kiriko. She hits like a crazy long range.
Right.
And Sojourn, and that's it.
So you have the advantage of hindsight right now. So where are you going to tell yourself to go?
I honestly would either be going on one of the very far right or the very far left flanks.
I agree. Something like here, you know, maybe early on, or even wait for your team. 3, 2, 1, walk out here, and then maybe even start to push the Sojourn out a little bit. Just be a general nuisance, right? I think that's a good plan. Think about number 1, your positioning, and what do you think about the timing of this pressure, which is obviously like the two are married together, right?
Okay. So I actually think that I knew that the monkey was still in that upper high ground. So when I peek this, I'm like, this is the angle I want to be in. I think shooting the Moira here is good pressure on her. Sure. I think that I don't know. I don't think this is really terrible timing, considering that they're already kind of engaging with my team.
I think this is good. I think this is the best engage you've had yet. Outside of maybe first fight, which was really quite good, but I think this range is good. There's not a lot of great angles for you here, to be honest with you, that don't feel like the best case scenario would honestly be to stack with your team, which feels horrible, but like at least, I mean, I don't know. But this feels good. This feels good. This is timed well. The angle is okay. Yeah, for sure. But this...
I see what you're saying now. Yeah, with the Genji.
Why are you here? This is autopiloting, if we had to say so myself. If now that you're thinking with hindsight, right? Hindsight, where should you go?
Like I should just still be on that wide angle. Like I should just be there all day.
Walk up here. And the funny
because in my head I'm thinking like, oh, I'm still gonna off angle and still like this is still technically like I'm getting not picks. I'm getting damage off, and they're going to be annoyed by me, but I'm not far enough away. Right? Because if I isolate that Genji into a 1v1...
Like, look at this right here. Look at this. You see this on stream?
Yeah, I can see it where it's at.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Brilliant. And the thing is, so let me be very clear. The range thing is important early mid-fight, right? If you see an opportunity, this monkey's low. Remember when we were talking about whether a fight is won or lost based off of HP and cooldowns? Let me provide you a scenario, okay? This Winston Genji dives somebody right here, and the monkey gets really low. The bubble breaks. The Genji's uses dash, whatever. You can push them. Now you might need to be careful of like primal or Cole or beat or something, but you can push them. You can actually not play your range. You could W key into them to secure the kill if you want to. But that's only when you've seen that HP, that cooldown. You know what I'm saying?
I'd be surprised if I don't die right here. I don't remember this part exactly, but I'd be surprised if I don't die. Right. I think Genji probably go on me here.
You probably should. Yeah, you probably should. And even if you don't die, it's like, what damage are you doing right now?
Oh, nothing. Right? He's got the high ground too. Like it's kind of just abysmal.
Oh no. Oh no. Here's the thing. If you go on a flank like this here as Soldier, can the enemy Winston Genji get on top of you? Yes. But it's going to be really expensive and really painful.
And I have a non-cooldown ability where I can just get away when they start jumping.
That's the rule. The rule is to never let them get on top of you, but to make it painful. Okay. Okay, Winston, careful. This is even a little too close, I would say. So like if we're talking about micro here, this is okay, but I would prefer here, right? To where it is impossible for him to jump and land on top of you. It is impossible, but you can still shoot him. You see that?
Okay, yeah.
That's just.
Also, really good. Something I completely just unrelated to this map, but KOTH maps in specific. Yes. Very hard for hit scan. Oh yeah. I've noticed.
Well, why? This is a great.
The range. The range is very. So is that where I need to start getting my my Reaper, my Echo, maybe even Torb?
Yeah,
or whatever.
I think you could play Soldier and Cassidy and Sojourn on those heroes. or on this map, excuse me, but you just have to be like a little bit extra smart with it, you know, be extra dynamic, change your angle. Okay, they're rotating right, I'm gonna go left, I'm gonna keep my distance,
right?
You know? Okay. And Sojourn, I'm gonna make sure I'm not wasting my shift, so that yes, they're gonna dive me, but I'm gonna be able to shift out and punish them for doing that. Cassidy, maybe be a little bit sneaky with your positioning, right, to where it's hard to keep track of you. That's a lot of another reason why you see Cassidy flanking work is it's not just because he gets picks, it's also it's hard to dive him because it's hard to know where he is sometimes. That was a big thing. Remember we talked about the Ana into Nanoblade? Imagine that with Cassidy, right? Where do you dive him? Where is he? You know, that's something to consider.
Stay hidden.
But that's exactly why hitscan feels tough. I mean, that's why I remember back in the day when I was like some plat Zen main, I had such a hard time positioning Zen on KOTH, and I could not figure out why. It occurred to me years later, but like, you know, at the time, it's like, man, this hero feels so hard in KOTH. Why is that? Well, it's because there's so much dynamics and rotations, and because the ranges are generally short, right? So this is just not great. Like, this is like technically kind of the range we want to be playing, but you're out in the open. You're not playing an angle. You're not playing near cover. Like, this is just not great.
Yeah, just
this is better. This is better
for no reason. Yeah.
This is better. This is still decent range, good cover, good angle. I like this one. This one's good. And again, this is something you could be thinking about pre-fight. If you're thinking about this pre-fight, maybe you even go over here, right? Maybe you go over here and hide, right? You put pressure. You can run this direction. It's not. Remember how you died previously? It's because you were here. But what about here? Right here, right? With stream delay.
I'm waiting.
This sightline's a little better, right? Same angle, just a little bit more of a range. Here's the thing with Overwatch is a lot of I've talked about this, but a lot of heroes have like less clear like range versus short range. They're a little bit of both, right? Think of like a Rissa Sojourn, right? What is that? A range or a brawl here? I don't know, but I think Soldier still maintained. You'll still be able to make a better decision with Soldier in your terms of your positioning if you're actually thinking a little more about that.